Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be taking a look at HTML. We're going to be covering what HTML is, how does it work, and why is HTML used. So we're not actually going to be writing any HTML in this video, so if that's what you're after then I suggest you look elsewhere. I have got a video in the description of some basic HTML writing, so if you want to take a look at that then go ahead. This is a really basic video for people who are new to web design, just wondering what a HTML document is, or whatever the case may be. So what is a HTML file? Well, basically a HTML file is a list of instructions. Some people say a HTML file is a web page. Well, actually it's not. A HTML page will say things like display title as this, in the body write that. So really it's just a sequential list of instructions that are received by a web browser in order to build a web page, like a step-by-step list of instructions that you might get when you buy something like a chest of drawers and it says screw 1 into position or whatever. So it's just a list of instructions. So a web developer creates a HTML document, and in this document he says, for title say this, in the body do that. That's all it is. So along with this list of instructions we're also going to need a resources folder. In this resources folder we're going to have things like images, videos, flash content, whatever the case may be. So for example, if we had a picture in the resources folder called boat.gif, in the HTML file we're going to say load boat.gif from the resources folder. So it's going to grab the image from the resources folder and allow the browser to display it on the web page. The actual file itself is not stored in the HTML document. So what we're going to have to do with these is upload them to a web server. Once the files are on a web server, they can be accessed by anyone in the world. And this is how it works. So someone's come along, they've turned on their computer and they're going to open up a web browser. In this case they're going to use Internet Explorer. In the web browser they're going to type in the address bar www. whatever the site's called .com. This address is called a domain name. This is going to cover the server's address. We'll talk about domain names more in another video, we don't want to get into that too much at the moment, but basically they're telling the web browser where to grab images and video and HTML and all the site files from. So they're going to put in this domain name or address and it's going to direct to the web server where all our files are. And what's going to happen next, it's going to look for a HTML document called index.html. That's always the first file that's loaded on a website. So what's going to happen is the web server is going to respond and send the HTML file to Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is then going to read the HTML file. Remember, this is just a list of instructions. Internet Explorer will then build the website based on them instructions, and then the site will be sent back to the user to display on their system. So that's pretty much how it all works, but of course there's one thing missing, and that's resources. So as the web server sends the HTML file to the browser, the HTML file might say things like, we need an image from the resources folder. So then the HTML file is going to tell the browser to send a request back to the server to grab this file, and then the file will be sent to the user. If the user hasn't got this file, then it won't be displayed. So that's quite an important part of it. We've got requests going back and forth between the web browser and the server based on the content of the HTML document. So that's basically how it works. When all that's happened, we're going to have a basic static web page based on the HTML document. I hope that's been of help. I'm going to be uploading some more videos soon. Going to be covering CSS, cascading style sheets, and we're also going to be taking a look how to write HTML. Going to be building a basic web page, and I'm going to set some scenarios so that you can have a play. I'm going to upload some files and you can start changing a site and modifying it and hopefully pick up some some knowledge on how it works really. Thank you for watching.